to the ADR realm, because the alternate dispute resolution, whether it is arbitration or any other ADR, it is all about the contract, what the contract says, what the parties they agreed in the contract. Therefore, it is very essential to negotiate the contract, to negotiate the terms before entering into the contract. In my experience, a well drafted, a well negotiated contract lays the foundation to resolve the problems 50%. So, that says all. On the other side, contracts drafting and contracts negotiation, both are interlinked. This is another domain for you people as a professional, career opportunity. Contracts drafting, especially at this pandemic situation, you need not step out of your home. You can sit at your home and draft the contracts. So in this context also, this topic, it gains relevance and importance. So with this prelude, let us go into the topic. So the contract negotiation, it comes in the pre-drafting stage. That means before we enter into the contract. For example, if parties A and B, they want to enter into a contract for supplying of perishable goods. So the perishable goods, it has its own unique challenges. It is not like across the counter. You may be supplying from Coimbatore to Delhi. So you will know what are the challenges in between. So the drafting, it involves the liabilities of the parties. Who is liable for what and who will compensate for what. So the pre-drafting stage, they will discuss among the parties and they will agree. They will set the terms. Therefore, this negotiation, contract negotiation, that is the bedrock of the contract, which is nothing but the private law between the parties. And the contract negotiation between the parties, it is very, very essential for attaining the consensus, which is the essence of the contract, and for the performance of the contract. They must attain the consensus. Once they achieve the consensus, then the contract performance will be seamless and you can avoid claims or disputes. So I have already mentioned that contract drafting is a altogether new domain for you people, and it is a very lucrative domain also. If you learn that, then you can sit from your home only. You can make it as a career. You can do pan India also. That is what we are doing. So let us know few types of contracts, what we will be drafting. And the most complicated one I have given on the top, which we are dealing with, that is the construction contracts. So that will be running into thousands of pages and many volumes. And agreements for sale, I think Karthik, he must be aware of it. He is doing it already. So for the sale of property and all, we are creating agreements. So that is another one. And then franchisee agreement, licensing agreement, escrow agreement. Now it is prevalent with a new statutory requirement. for the developers. And then employment agreement, that is very common. Term loan facility agreement, rent and lease agreement, this is also most sought after agreement. Purchase and supply agreement. So these are the few types of agreement most commonly in demand for drafting. So I suggest you all people, wherever you find a course for drafting, you go for it. And these few types of agreement, you make yourself thorough into the elements of this agreement, so that you will make a successful career. So that is where I am into. Already we have seen contract drafting and contract negotiation, they are interlinked. Without negotiating a contract, you will not know what is the requirement of the parties. And in any contract, there is a common belief that price is the only element. It is not so. Price is one of the elements. Of course, you need to negotiate the price. That is the bottom line of any contract. But that is not the end of it. Especially, when you are into international contracts, whether it is a supply contract or any contract. So you need to look into other clauses also when you are negotiating. I have listed few clauses like risk allocation clauses. So going back to the previous example I have quoted, if it is a supplying of perishable goods, so it is having its own risk. The buyer, he will be particular in receiving the goods in a fresh state, without any damage to it or non-perishable state. So there will be certain risk involved, like it has to be transported in a refrigerated container. So these are the risks involved, and in between there may be some delays happening. So in that state, what are the steps to be taken and who is responsible? Suppose if a refrigerated container is required, then that has to be priced, and then insurances has to be taken. So insurance will be procured by the seller and it will be paid by the buyer. So this way we need to identify what are the risks and we need to negotiate. So it is trade specific, the trade of the contract which you are into. And then liability clauses, limitation of liability. What are the liabilities involved? Liabilities of each party. So that has to be negotiated, that has to be discussed and agreed prior to entering into agreement. And then termination clauses. Not all the contracts are performed in its entirety, especially through this pandemic situation or any other reason which was not unforeseen at the time of entering into contract. The parties, they are unable to perform the contract. So there must be exit clauses. We call it as exit provisions. If such scenario occurs, then what are the terms? Who is responsible? Who has to compensate to whom? So what are the breach scenarios? That has to be identified, that has to be negotiated again. So if parties, they do not negotiate, they do not identify this domain, and if they fail to negotiate and agree, prior to entering into the contract, then what happens? Eventually, it leads to unilateral contracts. That is, one party dominating the contract. So it will result in breach, breach of contract, and one party he'll be suffering, but the other party he'll be referring to the contract. He will say, "Hey, everything is given black and white." So naturally, you are entering into claims or disputes. So that can be avoided by properly identifying what are the uh, important critical clauses, critical scenarios, and they have to negotiate and agree. That has to be converted into the contract. Now let us see what are the different approaches to a negotiation. So the first one, there are three major approaches. The first one is distributive approach, and then compromise approach, and then integrative approach. So first one, distributive approach, it is like flexing the muscle type of, It happens mostly in the government contracts. What they do, they impose the terms. They will say, you take it or leave it. So one party, he will always win, and the other party will always lose. In effect, there is no negotiation of terms. Simply, one party says, these are my terms. You take it or leave it. If you agree, you take the job. Otherwise, party B will come. So it is not a preferable approach. Again, because of the market environment, people, they tend to agree to this, and then later on they suffer. And it results only the non-performance or substandard performance of the contract. And the next approach is compromise approach. So compromise approach means the party who is selling, the seller, when he goes to the negotiation, he will start his approach in a competitive way. He will say, no, already I have quoted very low price, this is the market price. So we don't have any margin. So that is for the price. And for the other terms also, they will say, this is the best terms we can agree. But in due course of negotiation or the discussion, the seller, he will come to know that he may not be able to achieve what he has already mentioned. So he changes his strategy to cooperative mode. Then he says, okay, since you are a regular customer and in the long-term relationship, so okay, we will negotiate and we will give a best offer. So they are turning from competitive to cooperation method, cooperation approach. So it is called compromise approach. And then integrative approach. Integrative approach, this is the most preferable approach. So here, both the parties, from the beginning of the negotiation, they are open to each other. They reveal all the scenarios, and they exchange, give and take. Some they give some, they take some. So they always have a midway approach. This is the most preferable approach, integrative approach. It happens mostly in specialty contracts. Specialty contracts means like the projects like airports, harbor and all. So there you won't find many contractors. So only few contractors will be there. So both parties, they tend to reveal the scenario, and the negotiation itself will be in a different platform. Okay, now we'll see what are the how to plan a negotiation. What are the different strategies for negotiation? So again, we have three major classifications. One is BATNA, that is the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. And the next one is VATNA. It is the opposite to the first one, the worst alternative to a negotiated agreement. And then MLATNA, most likely alternative to negotiated agreement. So here the first one, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Here the parties, when they are entering into negotiation, they will work out different scenarios. What is their bottom cost? The basic cost, what is their basic cost? So what they expect, what is the profit they expect? Suppose if they are expecting, say, 10% profit or 15% profit, so they will work out different strategies, and they will not go below that. They will prefer not to go below that. They will fix that threshold. They will see between this and this. Will try to reach midway. That is the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. And the next one, worst alternative to a negotiated agreement. This is the bottom of the negotiation.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, sir. Could you please explain BATNA again?
Yeah, okay. BATNA, here, for example, you take a seller. He knows what is his cost, basic cost. And he will fix what is his expected margin or profit, 10% or 15%. Now he will have 2-3 options. So again here, not only the price, other terms also. He knows up to which extent he can go. So he will fix the threshold on all the important elements of the contract. So he will play around within that threshold. So he will try to go for the, suppose if he is having 3 options, 10%, 14%, 20%. He will start with the 20%. And then he will see what is how the negotiation goes. Sometimes he may settle down in 15%. So he's happy. He knows still he is making profit. So he will settle there. So this is the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. And the next one, VATNA, worst alternative to a negotiated agreement. That is the bottom of the negotiation. Sometimes what will happen, due to the market condition, you may not expect very decent margin, or sometimes you may have to compromise on your terms also. So that is the bottom line. Sometimes for the sake of getting a business, people, they will agree for a very meager margin. Even if they get 5% also, they will take, because they want to survive in the market. So that kind of approach is called worst alternative to a negotiated agreement. They know that they're not making anything, but they will take the business. They don't want to lose the business. So here the worst alternative is losing the business. So they will see what is the worst alternative. Worst alternative is losing the business. So instead of losing the business, they will take the business with some margin or some compromise on the terms also. And the next one, most likely alternative to negotiated agreement. So the term itself, it defines that it is the most preferable one, because it plays between the Batna and Vatna. So they will not, anybody, they will not go below the Vatna, and they will try to achieve Batna. And in this approach, Latna, they will try to go midway between the Batna and the Vatna. So these three terms itself, there are huge topics, but due to time constraint, I'm just introducing you guys these terms. You can read a lot, in the internet. But these are all very, very essential terminologies in the planning of a negotiation. And then we will see what are the stages of a negotiation. So you have preliminary stage, information stage, distributive or competitive stage, and then closing stage, and then cooperative integrative stage. So these are the different stages of negotiation. So let us quickly run through the preliminary stage. So here the stage is set for the negotiation. Here the main focus will be building the relationship. They will just identify themselves. They will reveal their identities. What is their company? What is their background? What is their experience? Most of the times, once you reveal your identity, then the tone will be set for the negotiation. If you are really big, or if you have very long experience, or if you have a specialty experience, so if you reveal, the other party's tone will be subdued. It's all, psychology, mind games. The negotiation is nothing but mind games. And also it is called sea bathing. You should know the art of sea bathing when you are negotiating the contract. So the psychology and the mind reading will be in the preliminary stage, revealing the identity, not more than that. And the next stage, information stage, here both the parties, they will reveal what is their interest and needs out of this contract. What is the common goal they want to achieve? Only that much they will reveal now. And here the parties, again, they will follow the competitive and the collaborative strategies. Competitive means first they will try to, they will not reveal their actual interest or needs. They will, exaggerate a little bit. But they will read how the negotiation is going on, what is the other party's approach. Then they will come to the collaborative mode, just to conclude the contract. So this will happen in the information stage. They will exchange the respective interests and needs out of that contract. Then the next one, the distributive competitive stage. Here, the focus is getting shifted. In the previous stage, one party, he understands what is the other party's interest and needs. Now, the shift is what is my interest and my needs. Accordingly, he will play. Accordingly, he will fix his proposal now. Accordingly, he will fix his terms and conditions. He knows what is Batna, what is Vatna, and he will make up his mind. At this stage, they will use all the persuasive skills. That is very important. Again, as I said, it is a kind of sea bathing. We need to maintain our composure all the time. It is not a place to show our dominance. Sometimes you may be a bigger player, but not for these projects. So it is a psychological game. We need to use all our weapons at this stage. So the focus is shifted from what are the party's interests to what is my interest. What is my interest and what is my need. So accordingly, the negotiation will draw to the conclusion. That is the next stage. So in the next stage, parties, they will give the proposal and they will agree. And then they will enter into the agreement. That is the integrative stage. So these are the various stages of negotiation. And once that negotiation is concluded, then they will give the proposal, they will give the revised proposal. So that will be integrated into the various sections of the contracts or clauses, and the contract will be formally concluded. And here, as I said, the persuasion skill is very, very essential. We cannot be aggressive. We cannot use certain languages. We have to be diplomatic. Then only you will end up in a win-win situation. Sometimes it may be win-lose for the other party, but we need to demonstrate that it is a win-win situation for both. So that is an art, negotiation. Negotiating the contract is nothing but an art that comes out of preparing your minds. So, and that will, the negotiation, the very, very skillful negotiation will lead to the resilient contract. And the resilient contract will ensure that seamless performance of the contract, and that will minimize the disputes. So I think with that, I conclude the session. It is a very elaborative topic. We can keep on discussing. Anyway, for today, let us move getting over. If any questions, you can ask. And
Thank you,
there is
sir.
post. Just a second. But there is the
Okay.
post negotiation process. That is, integrating whatever discussed, whatever the communications during negotiation, that has to be integrated into the contract. So that will happen during the post